My ball. Down in. Short drive. Come on.
Now Wigan have obviously improved considerably this season. How tough do you think that they're going to turn out to be?
Well, I think they're going to start the game very physical, try and soften us up a bit. We've played them once this season up here and played well, but we tackle them well. And I think if we do our tackling right tomorrow at the right times, we'll win.
It's being played at Elland Road, soccer ground. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's no different. It's like Headingley. It's just about the same size as Headingley. We're used to a nice wide pitch, so I don't think there'll be anything different for us there.
Where do you think the game's going to be won and lost? I mean, who do you think are going to be the key players?
For them, I think probably it's Gilliam, Wing and Stevenson, the international centre and winger. They've a good, strong, big set of forwards, and that's where we've got to contain them.
You're probably a more experienced side than they are. There's a lot of players around the 21, 22 mark. Not saying anything about your age, but is that experience going to count?
It could do. You get some of these young lads coming in that want to do well, and they really do have a go. But I hope tomorrow we've, as you say, a few lads with experience that have been in finals, a lot of finals, and we should be able to pull it off if they get in top form.
I think it'd be very physical, especially the forwards. I just hope that our lads can hold them. I'm quite confident that we can. And if we do that, I don't see any real danger, you know, if we get it out to the backs.
We hear that Wigan have preferred Jimmy Fairhurst at scrum half to Gary Stevens, an old adversary of yours. What do you feel that's going to be?
I've always enjoyed playing against Gary. I rate him as probably one of the best, you know, so Fairhurst must be playing well to keep Gary out.
Are you a bit surprised at that?
Not really, you know, he does his things, does Murphy, you know, he does, and sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow.
No matter what you say about Alex Murphy, he's certainly got him going this season, hasn't he?
It'll motivate him. They'll be all keyed up for tomorrow, but having said that, I'm quite sure that Leeds lads will be just determined enough to have a go at him.
Possession, of course, is a very big thing in rugby league. How do you fancy the battle against Nicky Kiss?
Well, he's a good lad, is Nicky, and obviously the bounce of the ball, that could happen, and hope that we get his fair share.
Is it a problem, the fact that you've played only, what, about an hour's football in 10 months?
Well, it's as much as a surprise to me as to any of the other lads. I expected a couple of 18 games first. Well, Alec had faith in me and put me in on Sunday substitute. Went on after 21 minutes and just got stuck in.
Could be a remarkable story, of course, if you play in the final, couldn't it, after this layoff?
I hope so, like, you know. Everything's going right at the moment. You know, it's all happened so quick, really.
Has it been a very frustrating period while you've been out?
Oh yeah, at one time I thought, well, I kept hearing things from the club and kept dying off, and I thought, oh, I'll never get back into it. But when Wigan come this week, it was unbelievable. You know, like I say, it's all happened.
So how strong would you say this Wigan team is?
This Wigan team is very strong, but I think it can be a side stronger as well.
Right. So far as you're concerned yourself, you seem to have made a very quick impact. I mean, has there been no problem at all getting sorted out in the side?
I don't think so, no. I just play my own game, except for what Alec wants.
Where do you think that the game is going to be won and lost tomorrow?
Well, I think if we can gain possession, we've been practicing on the scrums and so forth, if we can gain the amount of possession that we need, we're going to use it to our best advantage, and I'd say we'd give them a pretty hard time.
And a win so early in your English career here would make the trip worthwhile, wouldn't it, from down under?
Well, that's what I'm here for. Get one of those little meals.
And then you go home, will you?
Oh, no.
Are you likely to stop for a while?
Well, I hope to stop for 5 years, maybe longer. I'm here to stay.
Now, that was one memorable match this season for you, obviously the visit of the Kangaroos.
Yes.
This is going to be another one, surely?
Yeah, well, let's just hope we can put it right on the day. I mean, if we tackle like we did against the Australians, should have no problems. I mean, we really got stuck in, like, you know.
It's a long time since Wigan have been in a final, of course, isn't it?
Yes.
So it mean a lot to you?
Oh, it means a lot to me, especially with me, you know, being skipper for the first time, like, you know. Youngest ever skipper in Wigan, like, it means a hell of a lot to me.
Are you going to be holding the trophy?
Oh, aye, definitely, definitely.
No sweat?
No sweat, no.
Henderson, they tell me you've watched the try against the Australians about 35 times, is that right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And you've never sickened of seeing it?
Oh, no.
Do you think that you learnt a great deal from playing against them?
Yeah, well, like I said at the beginning when I met them, you know, they're just a normal side. Well, I know I've got the pace to match in the Aussie, and I've got faith in the lads that I'm playing with. So no worries really. It's just on a match.
Now, the semi-finals you won by a point, the quarter-finals you won by a point. Do you think it's going to be as close as that again against Leeds?
Well, I've watched Leeds' style and, you know, I reckon it's going to be a match, but I reckon we can beat them by a good 5 points.
Of course, the unusual thing about you, Jeff, is that to preserve your amateur status, you've never turned professional for the club. Just tell us about that.
Well, the reason for that is I also take part in athletics in the summer, and I've come up through the school system, you know, and I've done well in the shot and discus as my specialist events. So I'm staying amateur so I can do athletics in the summer. How long I'll be able to continue that, I don't know. I'm trying to come to some arrangement with the board, but I can't see it being possible just yet.
No, but the leg's going to be all right for the athletics in the summer, is it?
Well, I hope so, yeah.
Ruin your year.
It's doing my right leg good anyway for shot putting, so we'll look at it that way.
That's right. Now, what's it going to be like sitting in the stand watching tomorrow when you really want to be out there?
Well, I don't really know yet. I don't know how I feel. I think I'll probably feel just as excited for the lads, like, but I'm feeling, the feeling there for me is just disappointment at the moment.
But you'll want them to win, all right?
Oh, I want to win. I want to win.
You'll
be
cheering them on?
Oh yeah, I hope so anyway.
All right.
They'll do well anyway.
We'll look forward to seeing you back in action, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex, you're in good voice, I can tell that.
Well, it's part of my makeup, you see. I can't go anywhere without shouting. You know, it's strange. I'm only like that when I'm on a football field or when I'm sat on the bench. I'm all right when I'm off the field.
I know that, but you've shouted them all the way to the final, haven't you? And that's something Wigan's not done for a long time.
Well, I think with the help of Billy Ashurst and Alan McInnes and a lot of hard work from the lads, I think we've really achieved a miracle, really, because it's something I didn't expect, to be quite honest. You know,
it's come quickly, more quickly than you expected.
Well, a lot more quick than what I thought, because in 6 months we've just transformed the side, and they're now beginning to look like a good side. They're not right, but they are going to be a good side.
How are the people of Wigan responding? I mean, do they believe it's the dawning of a new era?
Yes, they do actually, because they're now talking about it in the pubs and the clubs and the shops, and we're now having old men sat on the bench reading the paper, talking about Wigan, Wigan Rugby League Club, and I thought them days had gone forever.
Yeah, so there's going to be plenty of cherry and white at Ellen Road?
I think there'll be about 12, 14,000, and I think we'll outshout them, I think we'll outplay them.
Now, I know it's an achievement to get there, but Murphy's a winner, isn't he? You'll want to win it.
Well, I don't want to go anywhere and lose, and the pressure really is on us, because everybody's become tipsters and they're tipping us. Now, there's only one way to prove them right, and that's go and winning it. And I think on the day we are professional enough to go out and do that. They're only kids, they'll not be overwrought, they'll not be overconfident, and I think we'll just check the game as it comes. And on the day, I think we'll do it.
Leeds, you're used to the big occasions, of course. Do you still get butterflies?
Well, actually, no. But of course, Arthur Clues has a reason for it.
What's that?
He says I'm a peasant, and he is more the ballerina, operatic type, and he does get butterflies no matter where he goes.
But even so, it must be marvellous for Leeds to be back in the big time.
And marvellous to be back with Wigan in the big time as well.
Yes, I think everybody's expecting it to be a classic.
I think it will. I'm sure it will, actually, because Wigan are on the upturn again. And that's what we always wanted. We always pray for a successful Wigan. We hate it on the field, but we love it off.
That's right, yes. Jack Hilton, then, as we've said, it's great for Wigan, and to see them back here in a big cup final.
Well, it certainly is. It's almost 10 years since we did anything like a big game of this occasion. And obviously with it being Leeds, who, strange as it may seem, we haven't met before in a major final, have we, Jack?
That's correct, yes.
And both clubs have got a high tradition of playing attractive football, and I'm quite sure that today the spectators will certainly get their money's worth.
A truly superb atmosphere here at Ellen Road then for the final of the John Player Trophy between Leeds and Wigan, and there you see the Leeds side, and Robin Dewhurst has had several problems, which is why you see Mark Campbell there in the number 2 shirt, who is relatively a raw novice, some might say. He's barely played half a dozen games in the Leeds first team, and he is in place of Alan Smith, who was declared unfit last night, as was Keith Rain, which means a chance in the second row for Andy Sykes. Wigan, on the other hand, no problems at all for Alex Murphy, and in fact such is his strength at the moment that he can afford to leave out £30,000 scrum half Gary Stevens. Jimmy Fairhurst gets the nod for the number 7 shirt and teams up with Martin Foy. And the Wigan pack also arguably among the best in the game at the moment, and included in there Graham West, the big number 11 from New Zealand. And at substitute forward this afternoon, Brian Case, signed only this week for Warrington, having been out of the game for 10 months. It's the first time that Wigan have ever appeared in the John Player Trophy final. Leeds' only appearance was back in 1973 when they beat Salford by 12 points to 7 at Huddersfield. Well, the referee this afternoon, Ronnie Campbell there, in fact, this afternoon might be quite troublesome for yours truly. We've got a Campbell on the Wigan side, Danny, we've got a Campbell on the Leeds side, Mark, and we've got a referee called Campbell Ronnie. So it really is the coming of the Campbells. The crowd roar as the 1983 John Player Trophy final gets underway from the boot of Colin Whitfield. And straight away, it's young Campbell who gets his first touch in the final. What a moment for him. The tackle is by Pendlebury. Scott's clinging on there too. David Ward. Not much headway made that time by Tony Burke, playing in his first final. Good Wigan tackling to keep Leeds within their own 25 here. Kevin Dick now. John Holmes, one of the most astute kickers in the game, John Holmes, but that one's not going to find touch, and it's taken by fullback Barry Williams. Roars of approval from the Wigan supporters, and there must be 10,000 across the Pennines for this clash at Ellen Road. Here comes Glyn Shaw. One of the most experienced men in the game, Glyn Shaw, but he's being pegged back there. Good tackling from the Leeds Pops, Dickinson and Burke. Fairhurst almost got through the tackle of Heron. Whitfield's looking for a kick. It's a high one. Not the best kick in the world. And that's going to be a penalty for Leeds for offside. These two teams met at Headingley back in November when Leeds came out on top by 8 points to 5. And in fact they also met in the John Player Trophy last season when Leeds won at Headingley. But extraordinarily, for clubs of such great tradition, it's the first time that Leeds and Wigan have ever met in a final. Apart, that is, for one extraordinary experience in 1935 for the Irish Hospitals Trust Cup, would you believe, when Wigan won 12-10. Leeds for the first time inside Wigan territory. Ward with Dick, nice little reverse ball. Trying to get Andy Sykes going. Ward and Dick once more combining. Dick's kick. Now, is it a good one? It's useful, it's very useful, but it's just going to rugger behind the dead ball line. It's picked up by Henderson Gill. Tries to go outside Campbell, who's done well. That will give Campbell encouragement. The first tackle he's had to make, and he's made it well. Penalty against John Holmes. Good crowd here at Ellen Road as Nicky Kiss from the play the ball gets the ball away to Glyn Shaw. It takes 3 blue and yellow shirts to pin Glyn Shaw down. Good on the burst there was Campbell. Away for Kiss, the roar from the Wigan supporters, good handling. Fairhurst tries to get the ball through to Whitfield, it's still come to Stevenson. Enterprising play by Wigan. Well, Alex Murphy has been saying that his team might throw the ball around. Nobody in Leeds believed him, but so far they're living to the word. What a good break this one is. Splendid play from Scott. Henderson Gill has done well to take the pass. What a good run that was by Mick Scott. Still Wigan are coming. No, they're not. The referee, Mr. Campbell, doesn't like it. So Martin Foy's run through there to no avail. But what a good surge that was by Mick Scott, the former Halifax player, who's proving such a good footballer in Wigan colours this season. Interesting story about Mick Scott. He'd not scored until 2 matches ago. He got his first try of the season then. He said, I'm going to score in every match now. And he did in fact score as well in the next game at Workington. So he's on a hat-trick today. Somewhat untidy, that scrum. So it's a Leeds put in, penalty to Wigan for feeding. And Wigan wanted to get on with it. And what's more, there's been a bit of yapping on the Leeds side. And so Wigan get the chance of putting the ball between the sticks, and Colin Whitfield takes that option. Now this is interesting. Colin Whitfield had never considered putting Sand down to aid his goal kicking until he saw Mal Meninga do it when Wigan played the Australian touring team. Meninga was highly successful on this tour, and since then Sand has always been part of the Wigan equipment. So, Colin Whitfield, 55 goals so far this season, attempts to make it 56 and put Wigan's noses in front. 1, 2 steps, 3 steps to the left. The round the corner style favoured by so many kickers. Can Whitfield make it 2-0? He can't. Screwed that one well wide. But good tackling. Wigan up quickly. It's going to be a drop out between the posts. There was no room there for John Holmes. So Wigan can keep it going. The pick-up by Pendlebury. Wigan oozing confidence in these early stages, and here's Scott once more to Shaw. Nice tackle by Wilkinson. Wigan very much on top in these early stages. Well, that looked to be a forward pass from Fairhurst to Graham West. But the referee saw nothing wrong with it, so Wigan keep it going. Here's Fairhurst. Who would have thought he cost only £5,000 from Blackpool Borough? Nicky Kiss driving in hard. A real chance here for Wigan. The ball's turned round for Whitfield. The drop goal is over. He couldn't kick the penalty. He can land the drop goal. And so we have that unusual scoreline in rugby league. After 7 minutes of Leeds 0, Wigan 1. Bob Jones.
Well, John, I think we found out yesterday from both Robin Dewhurst and Alex Murphy that it was going to be a physical game, and certainly it's been no quarter given so far in this game, and Wigan, as one would expect, have come out really fired up. From the words of coach Alex Murphy, they've taken a 1-0 lead, and they certainly look value for that at the moment.
Alex Murphy today steering a club in a final for the 15th time, which is a quite phenomenal record for any coach. His first one was back in 1966 with Lee. But 15 finals, by comparison, it's Robin Dewhurst's first. But, on the opposite side of the coin, Leeds do have more experience than Wigan. Pendlebury, he fed West quite nicely, so it was a good piece of spotting there by Heron. Now Whitfield's boot once more, and that's it's going to drift out of play. Oh, and in fact, Andy Smith was somewhat caught there. I thought that ball was going to go out. Andy Smith got under it, but only succeeded in knocking the ball into touch under the tackle. So Wigan are really asserting their authority in these early stages of the game. Out on the lead side this time satisfactorily. And penalty this time, offside against John Pendlebury. So John Holmes will look to put this one high into the crowd, which he does. Doesn't find a great deal of distance. But I think that Leeds at the moment must concentrate on getting some possession. They've had very little so far in these opening 9.5 minutes. 3-1 the scrums to Wigan. But now for the first time we do see Roy Dickinson coming into the thick of it. A question mark, by the way, over whether Roy Dickinson will last a full 80 minutes here. He's got a groin injury which he's carrying, and he's done well to turn out at all. Now then Leeds, their supporters from just up the road roaring them on as Holmes gets that ball inside to Wilkinson. Nice burst, the first encouraging moment of the game this for Leeds, and a penalty to them as well. Mick Scott and well, it was Graham West actually who wouldn't allow his opponent to get from the ground. Kevin Dick selects the route to goal. And for all Wigan's pressure, if this one goes plumb between the sticks, Leeds will be in front. Kevin Dick, the top point scorer in the entire Rugby League, 13 tries, 65 goals. And if only he can get the ball to stand up, he might make it 66. Wigan lead by 1-0. Kevin Dick can make it 2-1 to Leeds. Has he got his shooting boots on? It's high and it's handsome. 2-1 to Leeds. With 11 minutes gone, and Bob Jones, something that Leeds really needed that.
Yes, it's interesting really, John, that was the first time that Leeds have got in the Wigan 25. An infringement gave them the penalty, and Kevin Dick on kicking form puts them in front by 3 points to 1. And it's interesting also that the crowd here, very reminiscent of the Challenge Cup final replay crowd. Terrific atmosphere.
Well, 2-1 it is, and Leeds back in possession, of course, from the kick-off, so they'll feel a little happier. Heron. Back for Ward. This is quicker. Leeds getting it going there, getting the act together a little bit as Tony Burke came powering his way through. Burke, a £25,000 signing from Bramley back in November '81. Holmes, he cost nothing. What a good player he's been. John Holmes, one of those players who played in Leeds' last John Player final, along with Les Dill. But, picked up very nicely. Now then, let's see what pace Williams has got. Good tackle. 6 and 9, Holmes and Ward's doing their job well. And I thought there was a bit of an arm going in there, but it never found the mark. So Campbell went through unopposed. Nicky Kiss will probably look for John Pendlebury. In fact, he turns it to Whitfield, who puts another high kick in, and it's a useful one because it's going to get good distance. Neil Haig has to turn around to face the Cherry and Whites. So play midway inside the Leeds half as Les Dill goes to acting half-back and tries to get Neil Haig moving. Good play, Holmes, good passing too. Wilkinson, who's got strength. What a good tackle by Gill. Both sides willing to throw the ball around, and that is good to see. So is this. Heron, tremendous break by Heron, the loose forward. He's still going, and it took a fine tackle from Pendlebury to halt him. Heron so dangerous in those situations. He's got 11 tries already this season. Made his debut, of course, for Great Britain, David Heron. And here's John Holmes, jinking and going this way and that. 5 tackles. So will Leeds look for a drop goal? It's back for Kevin Dick. He was thinking about it. He's made a kick and a start, and he's off and he's away, and the ball's inside to Wilkinson. The ball's now out to Campbell, who knocks forward. Picked up by Williams, relief for Wigan. And staying down is Colin Whitfield. So the Wigan trainer's on, administering the treatment. Play goes on with West. He's not able to do much, even though he's 6'5". Whitfield's now sitting up. And the kick from Scott. Looks a useful one to me, does that? That's really penned Leeds back inside their own half again. And now 5 Wigan shirts surrounding the Leeds players. Ooh, and Scott catching his man there, and the ball won back by Wigan, by Kiss, and that's going to be a penalty. Oh, and there's a real bit of argy-bargy going on between Campbell and Dick, and players on both sides lashing out there. Totally unnecessary, really. Meanwhile, Colin Whitfield, who was missing from the fray, is back on his feet and running towards it. The aftermath is going to be a penalty. David Ward has been pulled out for the initial offence on Nicky Kiss. And if Whitfield's recovered his poise, he can try and put boot to ball. Well, that was all a bit hectic, Bob.
Yes, John, I mean, it makes for good entertainment, but it's interesting to note that Leeds are using the experienced backs, Les Dill and John Holmes, whereas Wigan are tending to use the boot of Whitfield more, and they haven't really got the ball out to their backs. And we'll see how they do if Whitfield lands this goal.
If he does, it'll be 3-2. Well, one just wonders if Whitfield, who was lying dazed at his own half a couple of minutes ago, is fully recovered. We'll see as he takes his 3rd step and prepares for the aim at goal. It's fairly straight, is the kick. He's got the height, he's got the distance, but he's not got the right sights in his eyes. It's been an interesting start. Scott will try to keep it going for Wigan. Now then, Fairhurst looking for Campbell. Oh, and he fought off 2 men well. Takes some stopping, does Danny Campbell, one of 2 New Zealanders in this Wigan side. Here's Shaw, very much a Welshman. He's played, of course, in the red jersey of Wales at both Rugby Union and Rugby League. Campbell once more, eager to get into the fray, Danny Campbell today. Wigan's man of the match in their semi-final victory over Warrington. Pendlebury, now Foy. Just managing to get over the 25. Back for Pendlebury, who's a rangy sort of a runner. Pops that ball up, it's not going to come out for Wigan's side though. So they've lost that opportunity. Now will Leeds try to run it out of their own defence. Nice bit of play. Tony Burke there has got mixed feelings in his house today. His wife's a Wigan supporter. It's going to be a penalty to Leeds, who are complaining bitterly about the incident there. Well, that's a good touch find by John Holmes. And one does get the feeling that when Leeds are in possession, they look pretty useful. Campbell, so many Campbells about, we're getting them there when they're not there. That was Dickinson who ran into a brick wall. Ward. Now Holmes, oh what a good pass to Les Dill, still they're going, and Dill looking for Sporton. He finds it in Neil Haig, who'd done well to come into the action. Getting right into the thick of it. Now Dick. Leeds handling has been excellent. Holmes. Oh, what a fine pass that one is. Is there room here for Andy Smith? He's tearing down the flank. And it took Pendlebury to get across there to stop him. Andy Smith playing in his first final. I have a feeling that Leeds are really throwing it around to try and get as many points as they can while Dickinson is on the field, knowing that he might have to go off later, and knowing that they've got two back substitutes on the bench in Mark Conway and Dave Hesselwood. So an injury in the pack would really disrupt them. Hesselwood has played there twice, but only for brief moments. Oh, Kevin Dick almost getting through. And did he in fact manage to grab Fairhurst round the neck. Left to Pendlebury once more, who's working as hard as anyone in the Wigan pack. There's Campbell, who's also done well, who got that ball away, and if it had been taken cleanly, there might have been some room on this left side for Henderson Gill. So the Leeds spotting was good. Campbell in the thick of it once more, but this time he's lost it, and Leeds have a chance here. They're stringing it out along the backs, and here's one of them. This is Heron, the loose forward. Leeds were really looking to throw it out there while Wigan were in something of a bit of disarray. David Ward plunging towards the Wigan try line. Leeds still leading, 2 points to 1. John Holmes has, and he's caught his Kevin Dick round the neck. Penalty to Leeds. And that tackle by Martin Foy meets with gross disapproval from the crowd as well as from the Leeds players. And Dick hasn't got up yet. He might well be kidding us all. He's probably got a twinkle in his eye down there. That really, well, there's no question about the penalty.
No question at all, John. I think it's part and parcel of the atmosphere here today. But Leeds are certainly putting behind them that disappointing defeat at home to Featherstone last weekend, and they're throwing the ball around, and they're certainly looking good at the moment.
Well, I thought a penalty had been given. The referee has he certainly pointed his arm towards Leeds, so he was a little bit indistinct. In fact, it's a scrum down, and Leeds might get something out of it yet. Wilkinson, almost getting through. Ian Wilkinson can be devastating near the line. They're still coming with Holmes and Heron. The Wigan line in danger. As Holmes, such a good feeder of passes, flings it wide. Here's Dick, who kicks and spurts and loses it. But that was brave by Wilkinson. The ball was obviously not forward, and that's going to be scrummed down. Kevin Dick showing quickly there that he'd recovered from the knock he took. Tough little customer, of course, Kevin Dick, who's only just got back into the side. But if he will go on holiday during the season, it's not surprising that his position had been pinched by Mark Conway when he got back. The ball flung into the scrum by Fairhurst, and it's certainly out on the Wigan side. The little scrum half has got it. Campbell allowing that ball to roll away from him. So Pendlebury it was who had to pick it up. We've had 23 minutes, we've had only 3 points, and we've not had a try. Campbell has done well once more. What a good piece of play that was, and I don't know how Williams got into that position, but he was obviously looking for the pass which came. Foy. This looks good. Pendlebury. Outside him is the right winger, Ramsdale. He's bundled into touch. And yet again the Leeds trainer is on, and this time it's to administer treatment to Wayne Heron. Looks to be an ankle knock that he's suffering from. it is indeed the leg that is causing the problem. There you see a little bit of agony on the face of Wayne Herron. So he's just about back on his feet again. He's got to get on with it. As I said before, Leeds can't afford to lose a forward. What they have won is a penalty. Bright sunlight here at Ellen Road. Wigan leading Leeds. Leeds leading Wigan by 2 points to 1. Just the drop goal in the early stages from Colin Whitfield. That was after 7 minutes. Kevin Dick's penalty after 11 for Leeds. This is Shaw. Head down, goes straight in. And again, that fiery bit of forward play. What a good ball it was too for Fairhurst. Now Stevenson. Already Wigan lining up a substitute, Brian Case, on the touchline, and they've done badly there. They knocked the ball back, and despite the fact that Barry Williams has regained possession, there was a knock forward, scrum down. So it'll be the Leeds put in as the scrum tries to form. They're wheeling around like a demented octopus at the moment. In she goes, and never came out. 15 bodies all piled over it, and the touch judge is on, so no matter what the referee decides here, play will not be allowed to continue. Well, the touch judge was the only one possible who was able to see anything there. I only wish I could lip read. And it's the big man Graham West who's being spoken to. I hope he understands the English accent of Ronnie Campbell. Whatever, it's a penalty to Leeds, which is negotiated safely. Burke running flat into Campbell. Now Dickinson, good little piece of ball play. That was good. And now Leeds throwing it around, and there must surely be a chance out here. Lesdale has got the pace, he can get the ball away to Andy Smith. He's got a foot in touch. That's the most exhilarating move we've seen. And again, some nice play by Roy Dickinson, actually, who showed some great dexterity for a prop forward. Getting the ball away, and Lesdale showing a good, clean pair of heels there. And that's helped Leeds way inside the Wigan half, but they've got the possession of Wigan. And now a chance for Wigan at this end. If Henderson Gill gets it now from Whitfield in a good position, he didn't. He didn't. That was not good play. Much too tight. And Colin Whitfield won't be too pleased with that. Henderson Gill's telling him to get up. It's the second time that Whitfield's been down. For a moment there, if Wigan had got it right, Henderson Gill must have had a motoring chance down the wing. Again, that scrum wheels round. Kevin Dick's got his hands on that little white ball, and the referee's satisfied this time. So Dick was quicker than Fairhurst on that occasion. I don't think they're ever going to get up, mind you. Now they do. Haig for Wilkinson. What a close game this is. 28 minutes gone. 1 point separates the teams. Well, Wigan have won 2 of their matches. The semi-final and the quarter-final by a single point against Salford and against Warrington. So if it's as close again, they'll certainly have the nerve for it. Holmes looking who on earth he can give the ball to. In the end, it's Les Dill. West flings an arm in there and helps to get him down. Dick. Oh, Wilkinson almost made it through the gap. Well, the scrum forms, but Bob, we're coming up to half an hour, and really there's nothing between the sides.
No, John, both sides are still going at the same pace as when the game started, and it's certainly exciting stuff, although there's only 3 points on the board. Wigan are starting to throw the ball about a bit more now, and I just wonder whether the older Leeds side in the second half will be able to contend with a much younger Wigan side.
Wigan, in fact, do have several players around the 21-22 age mark. And a feeling of sorrow here today for young Jeff Clare, 17 years of age, one of the boys who got them to the final and then broke his leg. Watching from the stands, I wonder what's going through his mind at the moment. A chance here, though, for Leeds, as we're right on the half hour. And David Ward will set things going. He's got Roy Dickinson first man in, who will drive towards the Wigan line, takes Campbell with him and makes good progress. I wonder if we're in for the first try of the game here. Kevin Dick, watch out for John Holmes somewhere along the line. He was the next man there, but the ball never came from Sykes. Here's Dick again, scurrying forward, reverse ball to David Ward. 8 yards out, Dick again. This looks promising for Leeds. Oh, he couldn't get the ball inside to Wilkinson. Haig coming forward, that shows the ambition in the Leeds side as Holmes. There must surely be a chance here. Les Dill streaking away inside for Andy Smith, he can't collect. Wigan have got it back. A real chance there, went begging. The touch judge is on, by the way, and I think he's going to signal that one of the Wigan players had a head tackle on the Leeds halfback John Holmes as he released the ball. Holmes is receiving treatment. Martin Foy is being told to move away. The referee has put up the number of fingers which signifies which player he wants to pull out. I think it's David Stevenson. And it was indeed the head tackle on John Holmes. And it's a penalty to Leeds. Well, I suppose that Stevenson could say that Leeds looked as though they were going to get 3 points there, because Dill and Andy Smith appeared to have something of an overlap. As it was, they didn't make it. But now Kevin Dick with a great opportunity to slam over his second penalty kick and edge Leeds further ahead. Still a hush in the crowd as Dick just plants the ball to his satisfaction. See how many steps he takes back for this one. Just outside the 25, as you see. 3-4 steps back, a couple to the side. And here comes Kevin Dick to try and make it 4-1 to Leeds, which he does. .33 minutes gone, Leeds 4, Wigan 1.
Well, it's interesting, John. I think Kevin Dick, as quite a few people have mentioned, is a big match player, and I certainly think he's proving that today. He's come more and more into this match, and together with John Holmes and Les Dill have started to dictate play once the forwards have got through into the Wigan half.
Neil Haig did well to skip through the first tackle, almost getting to the 25, and knock on there against David Ward. A penalty as well has been given, so Wigan with an immediate opportunity here. to get back into this game. You'll see the sand appear any minute now. Colin Whitfield really ought to pop this one over without any bother at all. You couldn't ask for a straighter kick than this one. And here comes Whitfield. It's plumb. 4-3. So 2 penalties in the very same minute. The 34th minute has taken the score first of all to Leeds 4, Wigan 1, and now Leeds 4, Wigan 3. And this match has every evidence of being as close as that, right to the final whistle. Ramsdale takes it nicely. Oh, what a good turn of pace he shows too. Dennis Ramsdale, I think he'd only touched the ball once before in the match. He's got 11 tries this season, so Leeds should know all about him. He's been around a little while. Campbell. Really thirsty for the action this afternoon is Danny Campbell. Fairhurst, Pendlebury will look for West, the big man. Yet it takes 3 Leeds men to upend the Kiwi West, and a penalty's given against Leeds. They turned him over. Now you see the signal from referee Ronnie Campbell. And when 6'5" hits the turf like that, the turf knows about it. Good kick from Whitfield. Chance here then for Wigan. 5 minutes to half-time. A little bit of injury time that we'll probably have, and they're working a planned move here to try and get Glynshaw going. Interesting that. Murph's obviously been working on that one. Here's Scott, here's Pendlebury, and now Campbell. He's got the ball back to Foy. Foy thundering towards the line. Well tackled indeed. But good moments these for Wigan supporters, as Pendlebury tries to duck and weave in between 2 Leeds tacklers, and he's no more than 8 yards out. Campbell, the little kick ahead. Was he obstructed by Ward? No, he wasn't, and Dill boots the ball into the crowd for the dropout. Well, a try now would give a great psychological advantage to either side at half-time. As it is, it's 4-3 to Leeds. But if Wigan could get a try beneath the sticks and 5 points, then they would go in the happier. It's going to be left to Mick Scott. And here he goes, the ex-Halifax man. So, crucial moments for Leeds to survive as Campbell once more comes roaring through. Kiss. Now Pendlebury, West. Oh, he's that's going to be a penalty for obstruction against Graham West, who never got the ball from John Pendlebury. Much more, Graham West has now gone and said something. That evening Kiwi was understandable to referee Campbell from witness. So Leeds survived that little scare. And we've got exactly 2 minutes of this first half on clock. Dickinson probing well. I have to repeat that it's by no means certain that Roy Dickinson will finish this match. Oh, here's a good run by Burke, the strong man from Bramley. Good powering run that by Burke, and now it's Wigan who are having to hold out. Wilkinson's still going. Whitfield made the tackle, helped by Pendlebury. Leeds ever eager to throw it about. Oh, he slipped the tackle, And what a moment that would have been for Wayne Heron if he'd managed to get there and drive in beneath the sticks. We're coming up to a minute of normal time. Dickinson to Kevin Dick, who's going for the drop goal, left-footed, hooks it wide. Fair enough ploy, because that would have taken Leeds to 5-3. Didn't work out though, with 45 seconds of normal time in this first half left. Still looking for a try in this match. Glyn Shaw tries to break through and makes good ground. Now Kiss, now Campbell. What a searing run once more by Campbell. He knocked it back, the kick ahead, the referee said that's okay. Can Foy get there? Oh, he's got the ball. Foy has got the ball, he slipped it inside to Ramsdale. It won't count, it won't count. Doesn't matter that Ramsdale's gone underneath the post. Referee Campbell, and I think he was right, adjudged there that that ball was knocked back by Foy off the ground, the pass off the floor, scrum down. One thing I do like about rugby league referees, their actions make it obvious to every single one in the crowd exactly why the infringement was given and the try disallowed. Referee Campbell leaving no one in any doubt there as to what had happened. I think it was a right decision too. It was certainly enterprising by Campbell though. And there's the hooter. So at the end of 40 minutes, it's an absorbing tussle. We haven't had a try, and Leeds lead by 4 points to 3. Just to run down the scoring, a drop goal from Colin Whitfield after 7 minutes, edging Wigan a point ahead. 2 Kevin Dick penalties after 11 and 34 minutes, taking Leeds into a 4 points to 1 lead. And then within that same minute, another Colin Whitfield penalty, making it 4-3. So it's been a first half of absorption, but of no tries at all. But it's nevertheless been interesting all the way through, Bob. So no substitutions for the start of the second half here at Ellen Road. A reminder of that score, it's Leeds 4, Wigan 3. And straight away the ball kicked dead, so play will restart on the Wigan 25. With Kiss. Shaw's made 1 or 2 good bulldozing runs, and so has this man Campbell. Campbell always seems to manage to break at least one tackle and look for support when he's in possession. He's done well. West, who has not had one of his greater games since he came from New Zealand. That's very good tackling indeed by Wayne Heron. And again, Wayne Heron doing a manful stint there. That really was very good play by Heron. What's more, he's left Fairhurst writhing on the ground. So he really did his work. Now then, what can Neil Haig do? Kicking right. It is pinned down there by Pendlebury. Not much way forward for David Ward. Holmes timing the pass perfectly again to Andy Sykes. That was good play. Holmes has got Heron tearing into the gap. And 2 searing runs from David Heron in this match. It showed what potentially a good finisher he is. And still going here is brother Wayne. Now Kevin Dick. Sprightly start this from Leeds. Holmes, another good pass. He really is the master, John Holmes, at getting the pass in at the perfect time. Strikes me, Bob, that Leeds have really come out with a bit between the teeth.
Yes, John, and particularly John Holmes, as you quite rightly said, his passing is always executed perfectly, and one gets a feeling that if a try is going to be scored, either he or Kevin Dick are going to be involved.
And here is Dick. Little ball back inside for Les Dill. And it's Scott And Pendlebury, who managed to stop any further progress that time, but Leeds keeping it going. Ward, Dickinson, Holmes once more on the ball. Oh, it's still coming back for Leeds. Neil Haig, how far can he go? Well, he certainly went a good distance. Enterprising play from Dill, bulldozing his way through, head down, took 3 men to halt him. The Leeds supporters cheering. They're baying for a try, and it might be Burke who gets it. He's still going. Burke, oh, dearie me, doesn't he take some getting down? Dick looking for the gap, jinking and going this way and that like a rabbit in the headlights, but he couldn't get there. A long looping ball for Heron. Ooh, he almost slipped the ball away to Haig, coming up in support. Holmes now. Good timing once more. And really good moments those for Leeds. I suppose that Wigan will say that they did pretty well too, to avoid Leeds penetrating their line. Leeds really flinging everything into it here in the opening stages of the second half. Still bright sunshine here at Elland Road, the perfect Saturday afternoon. Scrum's gone the wrong way, so Fairhurst has to wait. Now he puts it in, and I do believe that it's going to be a penalty to Leeds. I thought it was. There's an almighty scramble going on down there for the ball. And the upshot of it all was the penalty, taken quickly by Dick. Haig receives from Holmes, almost gets caught, still goes. John Holmes looking left and finding Ward, David Ward. Leeds really throwing everything at Wigan at the moment. And is this it for Les Dill? I don't think he's going to be able to get over, he's on his back. Well, he's somewhere in there. They've got him on his back, they've got him round his neck, they've got him round the ankles. He's still got the ball, but he couldn't plant it over that Wigan try line. Desperate moments these for Wigan. They're a point down and they will feel it's imperative to hold fast here. Fairhurst, and that's a crucial one for Nicky Kiss to win. No, that's not going to count either. Heron did actually manage to get the ball down over the line there, and there's a bit of fisticuffs again. It's twice we've seen that. Temper's a little bit frayed, running high at the moment. There was never any question of that being allowed to stand. And as the ball is pumped into touch by Colin Whitfield, any minute now you'll see Brian Case running into your picture. If he keeps running, trust him, he's gone and stopped. But the Wigan substitute is limbering up and down on the touchline. Indicates again that Case may well be coming on. Meanwhile, Wigan have got possession, and I would think they're all mightily relieved to have it. Campbell. Pendlebury. Now West. Clings on. Once more Pendlebury just trying to go alone a little way. That was a bit scrappy, but Fairhurst will try and bring some semblance of rhythm to it. Pendlebury again. Going left, going right, going nowhere. So we've had 47 minutes of this game and we haven't had a try. So the purists will be looking for one, and here's David Heron into the gap. Oh, if the ball had come wide then to either Dill or Smith, there might have been a chance for Leeds. But it is really very tight, this game. Here's David Heron, who makes more progress than any other forward on the pitch when he's got his mind to it. Dick, now Ward, now Holmes. Sykes is collared. by Ramsdale. But Leeds can keep it going, and if David Ward gets over the 25 here, which he almost does, Leeds beginning to sniff the Wigan line again. Sykes, Dick, oh, little reverse ball to Heron. One or two people thought there might have been an obstruction there. 5 tackles it is, though. Now then, what can John Holmes do this time? That familiar run of his, a good ball too. And it was a very, very fine tackle indeed by Colin Whitfield. That stopped Ian Wilkinson getting any further. Otherwise, the Wigan line really would have been threatened. So Wigan have held Leeds to the 25. Possession, such a vital factor in this game. And at the moment, Leeds leading the scrums 6-4. And I think it's 7-4. It is. Holmes again. Haig with it now. Still Haig. No way through there. Tearing run here from Sykes again. The man who scored a try against Featherstone Rovers last week when everything else went wrong for Leeds. Dick, Ward, and Wigan surviving by the skin of their teeth at the moment as Heron keeps to his task and gets play halfway inside that Wigan 25. David Ward, Wayne Heron. Leeds so willing to fling the ball about, but they can't find that loophole. Perhaps they will now as Dick feeds Holmes. Oh, the ball was back inside and there must be obstruction there. That's got to be a penalty. It's been given to Leeds. Now that will meet with some disapproval. The Wigan players were chasing through and Foy in particular was trying to get after it. He was being held back, it seemed to me, but the referee, Ronnie Campbell, for a witness, decided that all the holding was being done by Wigan players. So at the moment that Brian Case prepares to come on for Wigan, Kevin Dick prepares to put Leeds 7-3 ahead. 6-3 ahead. Getting carried away now. And that was a decision that certainly met with widespread disapproval. It has to be said, I think, that Ronnie Campbell was probably the wrong side of play there to see what was happening. But I think that Leeds, if Kevin Dick kicks this one, will feel they've got 2 rather fortuitous points. I'd like to hear Alex Murphy at this moment. Booing all around the ground, which is somewhat unfair to Kevin Dick. Nothing to do with him, and he screwed it wide, so perhaps justice was seen to be done. The substitution being made is Graham West coming off, and I must say that Graham West has had a very disappointing afternoon for me, so it's no surprise that Brian Case comes on. Bob, I think that would have been rough justice on Wigan.
Yes, I agree, John. I think, as you say, Ron Campbell was in the wrong position there, and I think it was more of obstruction on the part of the Leeds player. But as you quite rightly say, I think justice was done. But it's interesting, we've gone 11 and a half minutes in this second half, and this will be the first time that Wigan have got in the Leeds half.
So Case on. I think that West looked very dejected when he came off. He knows he's not had a good game, certainly by his standards. And it's Leeds once more in the possession. They're really carrying the fight to Wigan at the moment, although they are inside their own half. Whenever Sykes sets off, he looks capable of getting places. Didn't do much there. That's not a bad kick though, and it's running into touch. There's no way that Barry Williams could keep that ball in play. Touch judge was right. That's why his flag's up. So depressing for a side which for the first time in 10 minutes had managed to get away from its own line, then to be backpedaling as Wigan have just had to do. Down and in go the heads again. It's out on the Leeds side. Cleanly won. Holmes trying to work things here. This looks good for Leeds. Wilkinson. Oh, that's a good tackle by Whitfield on Wilkinson, who had Campbell outside him. Here's Heron, who runs straight and runs true and runs hard and gets over the 25. And you have the feeling that the Wigan defence has got to break sometime. Perhaps it will here as Ward carries it forward. Wigan absolutely hanging on for their lives at the moment. Holmes, oh, and it wasn't taken cleanly. And I'd like to see the look on Henderson Gill's face there. Leeds wasted that opportunity. John Holmes had taken them close, and now Gill gets a run. No wonder they cheer at the Wigan end. It's the first time that Gill has really had a chance to show his paces at all in this match. He's got a penalty. They wouldn't let go of him, so Burke is penalised. Here come Wigan now. Their first chance to run it in this second half. Good play. David Stevenson. Now Scott. Oh, and that's a good piece of play from Scott. The thinking footballer who got the ball away to Williams. Pendlebury now. And it's the turn for the Wigan supporters to cheer as Campbell crosses the halfway line. Kiss. Pendlebury. Kiss again. And outside him is Ramsdale. Oh, and that's good support by Kiss, who was involved in that move 3 times. Nicky Kiss, very highly rated, a potential Great Britain hooker. Here's Foy, the kick through, it'll go dead. That's the best we've seen from Wigan this half.
Yes, John, I was just thinking there, it's experience on the Leeds side against the youth of Wigan, and up until this point it's the experience of the Leeds side that to the fore. And John Holmes, for me, is playing particularly well. He's got class written all over him, and every time he gets the ball you think a try is going to come. But Wigan get him back into the game.
They needed that run, no question about that, because they'd been under the collar virtually for the whole of the half. We've 25 minutes left of this John Player final, and Kevin Dick's kick sailing out, so play coming right back. I wouldn't say it's been a classic final. It's not really lived up to some of the pre-match predictions. The only thing lacking really has been a try, but no rugby league game is ever complete without at least one, and often more. Penalty, feeding against Kevin Dick. So it's a chance for Wigan to see if they can thread a way through the needle. But both defences so far have given fair impressions of a fortress. Kiss burrows his way through a couple of tackles, makes valuable ground. Here's Gill. Oh, and he's got the pace. Need a little bit more than that to get through the sort of Leeds defence that was thrown up there. Oh, and here's a chance. It was Glynshaw that they were trying to get in, and if they can score here, Wigan, it'll be a tremendous morale boost of Pendlebury. There are men out on this side, and what a wretched pass flung out by Fairhurst. Oh, and he's getting a ticking off there, because there were 3 men out on this side, ready and willing and probably able to go all the way. Fairhurst's pass was into no man's land. Once more the scrum's somewhat untidy. Now where's that one coming in? It's going to go back into the scrum. Never did come out. We haven't had a point in this second half, but Wigan have got the ball. Chances here as Foy feeds his man. And it took a tackle from Holmes. to stop Whitfield, but now Foy's going again, and here's Stevenson. This is Gill. Can Gill squeeze in at the corner? He certainly can. That's why they're all up off the Wigan bench. That's why the arms are in the air. Wigan have got the first try. It goes to Henderson Gill. Alex Murphy's on the touchline. Leeds are dejected, and Wigan are back in front.
Well, John, I was just looking at the scrum count, and Leeds got a 2-to-1 advantage. They've had twice as much possession from the scrums, but on that very vital scrum, they're halfway inside the 25, and that try from Henderson Gill was only the third time in this match that he's got a touch of the ball, and didn't he take it well?
And the Leeds troops trying to reorganise as they await the outcome of this kick. They'll be disappointed after all the pressure they've had. Here's Whitfield. Good distance, good direction. What a kick from Colin Whitfield. 8-4 then, and that could be crucial at the end of the day. I noticed that David Stevenson is going over there to give Whitfield a little pat on the back. There wasn't a player within 50 yards of him when he took the kick, and that was an absolutely crucial one for Wigan. They lead 8-4. Crowd, by the way, is just under 20,000, officially given at 19,553. And that is excellent again here for Ellen Road. Robin Dewhurst before the match had predicted about 15,000, so it's just shown the pulling power and perhaps vindicated the Rugby League's decision to bring the match to a soccer ground. Wigan will have their tails up now. Here's Foy again, good run, he's got rid of Dickinson, he's got the ball out wide. Ramsdale looking for the pass which never came. The best moments of the game, these for Wigan. And I wonder if those young legs might just be beginning to tell. Campbell couldn't get the ball through that time though, and it's picked up for Leeds by Tony Burke. Dickinson, crucial for Leeds that they get back into it quickly. What's more, they've lost the ball. Leeds can ill afford to make mistakes like that, and Kiss plays it to himself and goes and makes 5 yards. Wigan are going to make a second substitution. Brian Juliff's about to come on. Interesting to see what role he adopts, because of course he can play either in the centre or in the second row, the former Wakefield man. But let's keep our eyes on the pitch, and for the moment it's Mick Scott. Campbell, he's had a storming game for me. Still Wigan coming with Pendlebury, and there goes the whistle for the sixth tackle, which will enable us to see who Brian Juliff will replace, and I think it's going to be Henderson Gill. So it's a tragic end to the game for Gill, but what a reception he'll get as he comes off, the man who's got the only try of the game so far. And Gill obviously in pain, struggling badly, and Juliff will give him a quick word. Well, it's a sad end to the afternoon for Henderson Gill, but I would imagine as he raises his arm in salute to the Wigan supporters that if Wigan win this one, he'll come back on to be part of the victory celebrations. Leeds have got the ball from the scrum. Here's Holmes, bit of room this time. Now Dill, using his experience and trying to work it out as far as Andy Smith. Heron, who's worked might and main and had a couple of good plunging runs from loose forward. There's no way for him there though. Leeds of course still very much in this game. A try and a goal would put them in front again. They've 18 minutes to do it in. Here's Wayne Heron. Good tackling from Wigan there. The Newman Case was one of the tacklers. Dickinson, who's done well to last this long, bearing in mind that injury of his. Dick, Holmes, this looks better for Leeds, as Sykes gets the ball away to Wilkinson. Eventually goes down, and that's going to be a scrum. Interesting, Bob, that Wigan, who've got in front, have made the 2 substitutions, and Leeds are still relying on the original 13.
Well, I think, John, Leeds were struggling before the match started with players. As you mentioned earlier, Roy Dickinson wasn't 100% fit, and they haven't got Alan Smith, whereas Wigan have got a full squad to choose from, and Alex Murphy is making use of them.
He's a very fit man. Fairhurst still going. Chances here again. There must be an overlap on this side if the ball comes clear. Oh, he's come back inside, but he's still going, is Stevenson. Still going, and over the 25. One felt if that ball had continued to come to the right, then Wigan must have scored. There's going to be the touch judge coming on, a hold-up in play. And now then, what is the referee signalling? He's giving a penalty against Les Dill. I must confess I didn't see anything excruciatingly bad there, but it's certainly given Colin Whitfield a chance to put Wigan into a 10-4 lead, which will give them considerable heart. Now to your picture, John Pendlebury took a knock, but the Wigan trainer has been on, supplied the sort of treatment that makes him reasonably happy again. And no doubt he'll smile if this one sails between the sticks. Well, Colin Whitfield has already contributed 5 points. And this one is going to give Leeds quite an uphill task, if successful. And it is. They were roaring at the moment the ball left the boot. More vital points. Well, yesterday in training I was talking to Colin Whitfield and talking about the crucial role of the goal kicker in any cup final. Finals often turn on the performances of the man entrusted with taking the kicks, and there's no question about it that Colin Whitfield's practice has paid off.
Yes, he impressed me, John, when he played for Wigan against the Australians with his kicking, and before that game he's out on the pitch practising 3/4 of an hour before it. But I think Wigan would be rather disappointed that that wasn't 5 points instead of 2. They had a 3-1 advantage on this near touchline, but run out of space.
They'll also be disappointed there that Danny Campbell dropped the ball when he shouldn't have done. And Heron might make them even more disappointed here. Oh, the Leeds crowd, they're roaring now. Here's Wilkinson. The original plunge again by Heron. For the moment, Whitfield is out of the game as Leeds try and find a way through on the left. Oh, and a knock-on, crucial by Sykes, has given Shaw the chance to relieve the pressure once again. Leeds have wasted 2 golden opportunities in this second half, just by sloppy handling. So Wigan's Campbell will feel relief there, because it really was a rather basic error that he committed which allowed Leeds back into it there. The trainers are ever busy in this match, and at the moment Les Dill is down with a knock over on that far side. Fairhurst. Oh, and this might be another chance for Wigan if the ball comes to Ramsdale. He'll kick ahead, he'll cut inside, and leading the dash for the try line is Foy. Oh, what good defensive play by Neil Haig, who literally got a boot to the ball as the hand went down to stretch for the try. Sensible play from Ramsdale, and a try there for Wigan would, I feel, have killed off Leeds. The trophy was as close as that to going over the Pennines. It was an inch away. It might still head that way. Here's Williams, stretching those long legs of his, goes like a gazelle, tries to get into the gap. And Wigan still coming with Shaw. Now Glyn Shaw's played in a winning final for Widnes. We'd like to add a cup with Wigan now, and Campbell twisting and turning and getting to within 6 or 7 yards of the Leeds line, and you sense that Wigan are going for the kill at this moment. Here's Foy, who's had a good game. Ooh, and he was almost into a crucial gap then. They might still be here. Good handling by Pendlebury. That's the 5th tackle. Now then, will they go for a drop, or will they try and get that to what could be a crucial try? Williams joining the line. It falls under the tackle. As once again those cameramen scurry round behind the posts to try and snap the try that could take the trophy to Central Park. Again, it's Wigan and Fairhurst. Oh, and he slipped the ball through. This must be a try. This has to be the clincher. Oh, he's gone the wrong way. He went the wrong way entirely, and yet Case, of all people, might get in. Why on earth didn't that ball come out to Dennis Ramsdale? He was a certain scorer. It's going to come to him maybe too late. Here is Ramsdale. Has he got the power? Not quite. The touch judge has gone as well in all that. But really, one has still got to wonder about that opportunity 60 seconds ago. If only that ball had been planted in the hands of Dennis Ramsdale, Wigan would have been home and dry. Well, Wigan have won nothing since 1974 when they took the Lancashire Cup. Well, they're really driving for this one. Here's Whitfield. The tackle by Herons kept him out. And Wigan generally being kept at bay by some tigerish Leeds tackling, but they'll have only themselves to blame if they don't win this. And the referee saying that that was not forward, so Wigan able to keep it going. Here's Case. Oh, and he's done well to get the pass through to Kiss. Here's Fairhurst. They're roaring him on again. Oh, and if again that ball will not come out wide to the right. And Ramsdale must be wondering what he's done to deserve this luck. Heron. Respite here for Leeds. They've got to use it now. 6 points behind, 10 minutes to do something about it. Burke. Oh, Dickinson there. Kevin Dickinson still soldiering on with that groin injury, and he really has done well. Holmes, Leeds still looking to him to produce something, and they might down that right hand side with Andy Smith. Oh, what a great tackle! Andy Smith was denied there by that brilliant tackle over on the far side, and but for that he looked a certain scorer. So John Pendlebury doing his job superbly and keeping Wigan in front. It will have encouraged Leeds somewhat. Again, it was Holmes and Dill who made the opening. Leeds throwing everything into it. Only 8 minutes to go, Bob.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier that I thought the youth of Wigan was coming to the fore. They certainly put Leeds under a lot of pressure, and I felt there was still chance for Leeds because of the expertise of Holmes and Lesdale and people like this, and we nearly saw it paid off for Leeds there.
So here they come again with Haig, and now Wilkinson. Okay, Whitfield just caught his ankle there, which was as well for Wigan. So crucial moments for Wigan to hold out. A reminder though that even a try and a goal would take Leeds to within 1 point of Wigan, who would still be in front. This is Sykes. And Wigan's supporters will be looking anxiously at their watches now. 8 minutes left. Ward, Heron, Holmes can still conjure up something. it really would be extraordinary if Leeds did get 5 points and lost by a point. It would mean that Wigan would win the quarter-final, the semi-final and the final all by a point. Out on the Wigan side. Williams made some useful ground there for Wigan. As Stevenson is doing now. Foy for Shaw, looking for support. Kiss was the other side of him. And here's Kiss, who's had a storming game at hooker for the Lancashire side. It really will be a fairy tale for Wigan, this, if they do win. They've really come out of the doldrums this season since Alex Murphy was appointed in June. And it just shows again what an amazing coach he is. Case. Wayne Herron it is who's the last man with him there. Now Fairhurst. Jinking and looking for support, and eventually it's coming with Campbell out on that far side. Still going is the substitute Juliff. He did well to come back inside and not be forced into touch. Wins applause from his colleagues. And it's 6 tackles. Still no sign of movement on the Leeds bench. It looks as though their substitutes, Heselwood and Conway, are going to remain rooted to their seats for the remaining 6 minutes of this game. They'll be as disappointed as the Leeds faithfuls. It's out on the Wigan side again. They've done well with possession recently. Kiss coming back well in the scrums, which are now 10-8 in the Leeds' favour. But here come Wigan, again looking for the kill. Is Pendlebury going well? Oh, and he was within a stride, I would have said then, of the winning try. Might still come. Campbell, Case. Brian Case almost powering his way across the line. We're looking for fairy tales now, but if it came from a man who was signed only earlier in the week, that would be expecting too much. Juliff is there! Brian Juliff has been on the field as a substitute for no more than 8 minutes. And it's Brian Juliff who wins the cup for Wigan. I think I can say that in all confidence. With only 5 minutes to go, Wigan have edged 13-4 into the lead, the kick to come, and surely now Wigan, for the first time in their illustrious history, are going to add the John Player Cup to all those others that they've won. 13-4, and the cherries and whites are singing all around the ground. Leeds are looking dejected, and I'm sure now that Alex Murphy's dream is going to come true. A simple enough kick, it'll produce a roar. 15-4, and the boot of Colin Whitfield has been instrumental as well. He started off with a drop goal after 7 minutes. He landed a penalty on 34 minutes. He converted Henderson Gill's try. He landed another penalty, and now with that conversion of Juliff's try as well, he's seen Wigan through at 15-4. And there's very little Leeds can do about it now. And the man of the match just announced now, Wigan's Martin Foy. Well, it really had to go to a Wigan player. I think it could have gone, in all honesty, to any one of 3 or 4. Foy and Fairhurst have both done well. Campbell and Kiss have done well in the pack as well. And Pendlebury too has always looked sharp for me. And here they come once more, Wigan. They'll be looking for a third try. Fairhurst is going round in circles. They almost found a way through there. So as I said, Fairhurst has done well and justified his preference over Gary Stevens. Pendlebury. And I think we have to say probably that those young legs of Wigan's have won the day over the experience of Leeds. So it's going to be a sad Robin Dewhurst, beaten in his first final. It's going to be an elated Alex Murphy. in his 15th final. Well, I imagine that Colin Whitfield at the moment will feel he can kick anything, having potted the ball 5 times between those posts. He'll fancy his chances here. Straight as a die. No, he's missed it. Well, what a time to fluff one. He's not missed before, and that would have put any question marks that might still be hovering firmly in their place. But at 15-4, I don't think that Wigan need breaking to a sweat. In fact, by the electronic scoreboard here, there's only a minute of normal time remaining. A little bit of injury time for Henderson Gill, perhaps. He, by the way, Henderson Gill, is now watching the game from the dugout. He came out a few minutes after going off to receive treatment for his injury, having scored that first try, which was crucial to Wigan. And there it goes, the hooter. Wigan, for the first time in their history, have won the John Player Trophy, and deservedly. No question about that. No wonder it says there, Murphy's Wigan Marvels. It's the Wigan fans who can cheer. 3 of them are on the pitch and really shouldn't be. And there's no question that the day has belonged to the club from Central Park. Leeds will be bitterly disappointed, but then most of those players have known their days of triumph. People like John Holmes and David Ward, Les Dill, they've all won cups in the past. But for some of these young Wigan players, it's a marvellous moment, and Nicky Kiss at this moment is in the arms of one of the Wigan entourage. Alex Murphy is out there, and he's congratulating all his men. So is Gary Stevens. Nice to see him in and amongst it. There's Gary Stevens at the back of your picture in the blue blazer, congratulating all his players. And Wigan, who a couple of seasons ago were almost down and out as a second division club, they're not only back in the big time, they're back as winners. They'll now fancy their chances of going to Wembley in the Challenge Cup as well. And good to see Henderson Gill there in the tracksuit, the man who got that try after 58 minutes to set Wigan on the road to victory, joining in the celebrations. I said at the time he'd be out there, and there Alex Murphy in the middle of it all. He's donned his raincoat for this second half. He's not needed it because it's been glorious weather here at Ellen Road. So the hugging and the kissing going on, and a special hug and a pat there for Gill from Alex Murphy. Brian Case in amongst it all there. What a moment for him. Out of the game for 10 months, he's come back, he's played 40 minutes football, and now today he's come on as substitute and figured in a Wigan victory. Just to run through the scoring again, for Wigan, Colin Whitfield, a drop goal and 4 successful kicks, 2 of them penalties and 2 conversions to the tries from Henderson Gill and Brian Juliff. But for Leeds, they only had 2 Kevin Dick penalties to show for all their efforts. They had a lot of possession, they had their chances, especially 2 in the second half. But at the end of the day, I don't think there is a man in the crowd who can deny Wigan their moment of triumph. Final score at Ellen Road, Leeds 4 points, Wigan 15, and Bob Jones, no question at all, the cup has gone to the right club.
Yes, I think on the day Wigan were far the better side, and particularly in the second half. I think Leeds were up against it before the kick-off. They had several experienced players that weren't fit, couldn't play, and I think that was the story of the match.
So Colin Whitfield hoists the cup high to the crowd. There it goes. You'll hear them cheer, they'll be singing, they'll be drinking in Wigan tonight, I imagine. And it seems that 1 or 2 have already managed to snaffle a bottle of champagne. And as the players all go through to collect their medals, David Stevenson followed by Jimmy Fairhurst. Stevenson's turn to lift that trophy. Fairhurst, Martin Foy, Wigan's man of the match. And what great scenes here at Ellen Road. It may be a soccer ground, but the rugby league clubs have come to know that it provides the right atmosphere for the big occasion. Hull won the Challenge Cup here in May. It's Wigan's turn today. Henderson Gill raises an arm and he gets a colossal cheer, as does Brian Case. And Wigan's greatest moment for many years this. They've not won anything since the Lancashire Cup in '74. But now the Central Park Club is back, and that can only be for the good of rugby league. Wigan, one of the great names in the game, and I'm sure that even the dejected Leeds side will not take away anything from Wigan in this glorious moment, as the players now go, I suspect, on a lap of honour any second now. Brian Jouliffe, I noticed there, just having a look at the cup that he's got, as Leeds get generous applause, all sympathy for the losing side in any final. David Oxley and Lord Derby up on the platform, handing out the consolation prizes as Leeds go quickly through the motions of accepting their gifts. So there'll be disappointment at Headingley, but for Wigan it's a sweet moment. It's a moment that those players will cherish for the rest of their careers. Very few of them have known any success. When you run down the side, Barry Williams, he's won nothing. Dennis Ramsdale, well, he scored a try in the 1980 Lancashire Cup final which Wigan lost. David Stevenson, Colin Whitfield, Henderson Gill, all really playing in their first major finals and all ending up as winners. The youngsters like Martin Foy and Jimmy Fairhurst just think he was playing for Blackpool Borough not so long ago. He certainly never dreamt of a moment like this when he was playing there. And the pack who've done a manful job. Glyn Shaw, he's been a winner with Widnes, and for him today a hat-trick. He won in the John Player finals with Widnes in 78, 79 and 80, so he already had a hat-trick really, but now he's made it 4 wins with Wigan. He really is a winner. Nicky Kiss, it's his first final. Danny Campbell and Graham West, the 2 New Zealanders who've come across to find success. Mick Scott from Halifax and John Pendlebury, and the substitutes Brian Jouliffe and Brian Case. Everyone a winner. It's Wigan's Cup. Henderson, well done. You said you were going to get a try and you made it.
Yeah, well, you know, took some scoring, but I enjoyed it. It's worth all the pain I'm going through.
But just tell us about that, because you were obviously left writhing in agony on the ground.
Yeah, well, you know, as I got the ball, I looked across, I saw the gap, and then I saw the cover, and I said, well, I've got to give everything I've got. So instead of going right down into the corner, I tried to come inside a bit so they couldn't put me in touch. And as I went over, you know, somebody came across with knees, you know, it'll have been accidental, you know, and it just happened that his knee caught me, and, you know, I just felt the pain straight away.
And you decided you had to go off there and then, did you?
Yeah, you know, I tried it. When I heard he kicked the goal, you know, it boosted my confidence a little, but still, you know, as I got up and started trotting back, you know, I could feel the pain, and I said, well, I've got to go off, you know, and he felt it.
You couldn't really feel it after scoring though, could you?
I felt it, yeah.
But it was a crucial try because it was the first of the game, and the match had gone an awful long time without one.
Yeah, well, you know, as we came in half-time, you know, we're talking and we says, let's keep the spirit up. So when I went out, I says to Colin Whitfield, I says, come on, all it takes is a nice chip through or one nice pass, just give it me first time and I'll do the rest. You know, and it came, and when it came, well, I was surprised.
Which was the greatest moment for you, that one or the one in Australia earlier?
Well, this is my first major final of any kind, you know, and, you know, it's a great feeling, you know.
I mean, we've been playing open, fast rugby, and we tried to play, they were doing it to us. You know, I thought, right, first 10 minutes, they're doing it to us. And in the second half, once we did start throwing it about, I mean, they had no answer to us, did they, you know, when we were running it about.
It must mean a lot to the club, because Wigan has won nothing for, 8 or 9 years now. So, I mean, are you on the way up, really?
Oh, I mean, well, I think the crowd today showed it, you know. I mean, I was with Alec when he was at Warrington, and he just has a certain something. And I think it's here at Wigan now.
What is that certain something?
If I knew, I wouldn't be doing this, would I?
You'd be coaching, wouldn't you?
I'd have his job, wouldn't I, if I knew that?
He's got a fair old record, especially against
Call it
Leeds.
charisma, call it what you want. He's the top slate when it comes to this coaching line. And he's done us proud, and we've done him proud today, I hope.
We scented a panic. I think the atmosphere got to us a little bit in the first half, and second half, like, got things together and took it from there.
Although, to be fair, the first 10 minutes of the second half, you were under the cosh a bit, weren't you?
Oh, yes. I mean, one of our strong points this year is our tackling. You know, there's not many teams that broke us down, and it just paid off today as well.
When Henderson Gill went in for that try, that must have been a great relief, because the first try was always going to be critical.
Yes, he took it superbly. I mean, he beat poor men on the outside. He still should have been pushed in touch, you know, but he took it really well, like, and it lifted us all, you know.
Did it lift you when you were taking the kick after it? Because I mean, that was a crucial kick as well, to put weight 4 in front.
From the touchline, I mean, you just put them down, don't you, and you hit them, like, you know, you hope for the best, and that one went. I mean, it was started to go out, like, and it caught the top of the upright, and it bounced in, thank God, and that seemed to let the lads as well, you know, with 4 points in the lead, like, you know, they had to score the trying goal, but we took it well. Yeah.
It's your first final, so
yes,
it's
I hope it's not the last as well.
Have you got the feeling now then that Wigan are on the way?
Oh yeah, definitely. We performed like we did in the second half, so we have no problems. We've got the atmosphere together now. We've been to a final, so we should get it right.
Celebrations tonight?
Oh, definitely, yes, all the way back to Wigan.
Don't lose that, will you?
Oh, I won't lose this. It's too heavy to lose anyway.
Well done, Colin.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Did you have the feeling once Gill scored the try that might have slipped away?
No, we were still in with a chance. You know, it was only 4 points difference, and if we'd have got in and scored a try, then we'd have been back in, you know, with a chance.
Always you're disappointed to lose a final, but the game itself was a good advert for rugby league, I thought.
Yeah, I think both sides played some good football, especially, as you say, in that first 20 minutes of the second half. I think we put moves on everything that it came off, but we just couldn't score. So if it's done good for rugby, well, that's fair enough. We've done something towards the game as well.
Leeds won on a technical knockout in the first half, and nobody could deny that. They looked the better side, they got a lot more ball, and we wasn't doing things right. Some of the kids may have played a little bit too much football in the dressing room, nerves and had a lot to do with it. But at the end of the day, at half-time, there was a few choice words spoken. I don't think some of the kids had heard that before, but responded to it magnificently, and some of them are now men, I think.
Funnily enough, the first 10 minutes of the second half, you were really under the caution. Leeds probably had the 2 best opportunities then, but once they'd spurned those, you really carried the game to Leeds.
Yes, they did. It was like I was saying to Robin Dewhurst after the match. Rugby league's about taking your chances. They threw everything at us, the kitchen sink, but we've learned to take punishment these days. But rugby league's about 80 minutes, and I did say at the end of the day that we would come back strong. I think I said our speckies would outshout them, and I think at the end we'd outplay them.
I think when the game had gone almost an hour as well, it made the first try all the more critical.
Well, we needed the try because Endy's one of them lads. There's only him can score them, you know. Quick hands, a lovely movement, needed some scoring, and he got into the corner, took a knock in doing it, but it was a super try.
This will be received with great joy back in Wigan because it does put the town back on the map in rugby league.
The clubs and the pubs will be full tonight. Lovely to hear, you know, nice for rugby league because they've proved today we've given home an advantage away and we've still outshouted them because we had a bigger crowd than they have. We've been about 14,000 people from Wigan. That can't be bad.
Great advert for the game as well, and I know Leeds are now keen to get you back at Wembley for revenge.
Well, if they can get back to Wembley and we can get back, we'll oblige them.
But it was a great advert, wasn't it?
It was a super game of rugby league. They played well in the first half. We played well in the second half, and this is what rugby, and no nastiness, you know. The game was played hard, as rugby league should be played.
I think there'll be a few more choice words about it now, but all in celebration.
Well, we're going back to Wigan. We're going to have a few bottles, and I think Billy Ashurst and Alan McInnes has done a magnificent job, and I'd like to thank them.
Well done, Alex.
Thank you.